right, good morning, everybody. Joe Van Doren, and welcome to our virtues pick for today. You know, every morning I just get so excited about sharing this practice that we have of looking at a virtue to focus on each day. And I think this particular virtue that came up today for us is one that demonstrates the reason why. We'll talk about that in a minute, but first, the virtue that came up today was purity. So probably in the list of character things, that's not one that would have been first on the list, or maybe even fifth or 10th. But here's the description, and then we'll talk about it. Purity is living in a state of physical and spiritual health. We experience well-being by keeping our bodies and living spaces clean and fresh. Purification is a process. We free ourselves day by day from unwanted influences and addictive desires. We let go of what no longer fits our lives. We replace negativity with virtues practices. We clean up our mistakes, choosing responsibility instead of guilt. Like a mirror kept free of dust, we purify our intentions. Purity gives us a clear conscience and a peaceful soul. Purity frees us to be who we are meant to be. So what a beautiful word, and one that, there's just so many different ways of looking at this and thinking about it. Obviously we want to keep our space around us clean. And if you were to look at my desk right now, maybe you would know the reason that this word came up. It's something I need to do today for sure. But more importantly, and the thing that I'm thinking about the most today is the purity of character, and how do we purify our character. And it is a process. It's a step-by-step thing. It's not something that happens overnight. It's something that takes time and consistency and clarity to do. And so as I think about it, what are the steps for that? Well, anytime you remove something from your thought process or life or whatever, for it to be really gone, we need to replace it with something. And I think that's really what this is really all about, right? So if we remove some sort of negativity in our life, whatever it might be, we need to replace it with, as it puts it in the description here, a virtues practice, or we need to replace it with something that is going to take us to a better place, to a better way of speaking, a better way of doing, a better way of being as a person. And so when I think about purity, I think about replacing negative things with more pure things, with things that are more in line with who I am, who I want to be, who I aspire to be, versus just going along and whatever happens in life happens. So, and that's what this virtues pick every day is really all about, because it is a process. And today we look at this word purity, and we're seeing it in one way. And the next time it comes up for us, we may look at it and we may think, I really need to take more responsibility for the mistakes I've made. And so in taking that responsibility, we're looking at purity in a different way. So, I really like this word, and I like the idea of purifying and just becoming the best person that I can be. How do we teach our kids about this then? I think that's a very interesting question, because it's not one. I don't think this is a virtue that comes up, I appreciate your purity today, right? But it's a thought process that we can talk about, we can talk about pure motives and pure ways of being, and we can identify purity is in the thought process of intentions and how the choices that we make. And so when we're speaking to our kids, and we're helping them to see and guiding them with some of the choices that they've made, and how they can make better choices, or they can we show our appreciation for the choices that they have made. We can identify that with this virtue of purity, and that they're making themselves cleaner and cleaner, that they're like gold that's the metal that's purified under fire. We can demonstrate how challenges can make us really clarify for us who we want to be, and how we want to proceed in life. So all of those things tie together, and purity and the purification of character really does come first with our thoughts. And as many of you know, I've been working and studying this subject of negative thinking and self-talk and saboteurs and sages and distorted thinking and all those ways of putting things about our thoughts, because that's where it all begins. And if we want to really purify our character, what I have found anyway, is that we have to start with ourselves and with the way that we're thinking, the things that we're thinking, so that we can in fact have better ways of saying things and better ways of doing things. So as a parent, we want to be careful about the things that we do and say, because what I'm learning in some of my studies is that the adults in the room, whether it's parents or teachers or other adults, are having a major influence on children, and the belief systems that they begin to have, the thoughts that they begin to have, and how those things play out later in life. So all of those saboteurs that we have as adults, most likely most of them, if not all of them, started with some influence that we were under. So that's an area, where I'm still working to purify my thoughts. So at any rate, that's my thoughts today about this virtue of purity. Maybe never thought of purity as a virtue, but it certainly is, and we can see how that's so. So until next time, which is tomorrow morning, keep practicing the virtues, and especially focus on purity today, and getting rid of negativity and purifying our character, and the 4 C's of successful families, and that is clarity, communication, consistency, and community. And again, I ask everyone that if you find any of this of value, if you find that focusing on a virtue on a daily basis is of value to you, share this, please. Like like the posts, like the videos, and share them with others, so that we can help others also begin to focus in their own way on the virtues that we all have inside of us, and it's just a matter of cultivating them, developing them, and balancing them so that they're not overdeveloped or underdeveloped. All right, until next time, bye.